This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Where we want to educate you about our market, empower you to make wise decisions, and help you engage with our expert contributors.
This month, our monthly market update, February 2021, the story is simply this, is that the inventory is very, very low. Right now, currently we only have 2,653 single-family homes on the market. That might be the lowest number I've seen since 2006. I mean, that's a tiny, tiny number of single-family homes in this market. And last month we had a little over 4,000, and that was tight. Currently under contract, we have 4,275. Last month we had 5,122. And that's a good number, 4,275 under contract. But take a look at that again. We actually have more homes currently under contract than we do available. That's kind of a crazy number too. Anyway, sold in the last 30 days, we had 2,800. Last month we had 3,300. 2,800 is a really good number for January. That's a nice number. Months of inventory. This is the interesting thing. Inventory's tight. We have less than a month's worth of inventory. We have 2,653 available, and we sold 2,800 last month. We're under one in terms of months of available. Now this is all single-family homes. It's not the entire market, but I always compare and contrast single-family homes because that's what we predominantly do here. Average days on the market was 38. Now I'm going to go into some of these other charts and share them with you. Let me try to put them in my correct order. Now the first chart is a stack chart. Now this stack chart goes all the way back to 2000. And what it does is shows you the amount of activity each month within the year and how that adds up for the end of the year. This year we're actually got a nice head start. We have over 2,600 closings in January. And that is, as I recall, that's the second highest number ever in January over the last 20 years. I think, yes, let's see, I think there was one year it was a little bit higher. No, maybe not. Maybe that is the biggest year. 2635, that's the biggest year. The largest January we've ever had in the last 20 years. So a big January for us this year. The next stack chart gets a little tighter. This is just the last 10 years. This is the one I use regularly. So for the last 10 years, 2,635 homes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I knew there was a year with more. 2012 had 2,900. Anyway, still a good start to the year. And last year was a good start to the year, 2,200 last year. So bear that in mind as we start 2021. We're starting just as strong as we did last year. And that was before the pandemic started. The pandemic didn't really have an impact on us until about March. Anyway, so that's where we are on the stack charts. Then beyond that, let's go to our next chart, which is this line graph that shows the number of single-family properties in months of inventory. And you can see that it went down to 1.1. I actually show it going down even lower than that based on my statistics. But look at the overall graph. That's the lowest number it's ever been since 2009. That's a very, very small number of properties. And you can see the high was up over 5 months of inventory of single-family homes. We're down to under a month right now. So therefore, good time to be a seller. And it's still a good time to be a buyer because interest rates are so good. And listen, if you're trying to anticipate what this market's going to do, I think you got to account for the idea that Southern Nevada is a very popular place to live right now for tax benefits and other reasons. And our market is becoming, our economic matrix is becoming more diverse. We're adding other things other than hotels and casinos here. So you're seeing other things like Google's here, Amazon's here, other big companies, Switch, major companies are coming to Southern Nevada. So there's opportunities for more diversity. And I think that's important for us, obviously. But we will see some nice recovery coming up in the coming months, I'm sure, as the pandemic goes away. I don't know how quickly that's going to be, but hopefully it's pretty quick. The next chart I wanted to show you was the average price year-over-year percent change. This past year, we show 7.4%, which is a nice number. It's a little off of last year. Last year was 11.1. I really like to see that number 3 to 5% is what I love to see. But our market's growing. It's growing at a terrific rate. Next would be, again, the luxury market. So the luxury market in our valley right now is on fire. It's driving this market right now. They're pushing the prices up. The activity's been tremendous. You can see that currently we have just 6 months worth of inventory. 6 months worth of inventory. The high on this one, get this, was 31. back in 16. 31 months of inventory back in 2016. And we're down to 6 right now. So bear that in mind. And then finally, my last chart I wanted to share with you guys is this pie graph that shows, and I bring this to the table because I want everyone to understand that right now, we are not in the midst of any kind of distress. Our market is not currently. There's some people who are predicting we may be in the near term because a lot of people are the impact of the pandemic may come upon them. But truth be told, I don't think it's going to be that dramatic because the banks worked with all of the homeowners. As far as I know, all the feedback I've gotten is that the banks have been very cooperative in helping people keep their homes. Plus, there's a lot of equity still there. And so it's not going to be the same upside down situation we had back in the mid-2000s. Plus, very important, all of the buyers over the last 10 years were thoroughly vetted by lenders. There's nobody involved in buying a home that they couldn't afford. It just hasn't happened. So that was the problem back in the mid-2000s. It's not the problem these days. Anyway, what you see by this pie chart is that only less than 1% of REOs and less than 1% short sales. Over 98% of our sales were just straight out equity sales. The seller's getting a check at close of escrow. That's the way we like it. That's actually a tiny amount of distress. A normal market, I think you see between 3 to 5% of the market is distressed. This is less than 2%. So it's a very, very good, vibrant market. And part of that's because it's appreciating so quickly. So there's your monthly market update for February 2021. You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now. If you ever have a question about real estate or any of the other topics we cover, just call me off air or text me at 702-203-1165. You can also check us out on the web at lvrealestateradio.com or on our handle on social media at LV Real Estate Radio. We'll meet you on the radio next Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on the new 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDWN, the Talk of Las Vegas.